Welcome back to part 2 of day 5. Life on earth is a trust. Our time on earth, intelligence, opportunities, relationships, and resources, these are all gifts from God. We are stewards of whatever God gives us. See, we never really own anything during our brief stay on earth. The earth is on loan to us, and while we are here, we're supposed to take care of it. And when we're gone, it's going to be loaned to someone else. So we need to enjoy it while we are here. Part of our purpose is to take care of God's stuff, and everything around us is God's stuff. Everything we enjoy is to be treated as a trust that God has given us. At the end of our life, we will be evaluated and rewarded according to how well we took care of God's stuff. That includes everything you do, chores, etc. Taking care of the land, all those different things. God promises 3 rewards in eternity. First, affirmation. We'll hear Him say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." That is, if you take good care of His things while you're here on earth. The second thing is, if you take care of His stuff the way He wants you to take care of it, you'll receive a promotion. With that promotion means greater responsibility while you're in eternity. And then the third will be the celebration. When you take care of God's things, He will have a wonderful celebration for you, and we'll be sharing in His happiness because we fulfilled the purpose that He set out for us here on earth. Most people fail to realize that money is both a test and a trust. God uses finances to teach us to trust Him. And for many people, including myself, money is the greatest test of all, next to patience. In my opinion, money and patience run hand in hand. But that's just me. I don't always have a lot of patience. But yes, money is the greatest test of all. And we all face that test. A lot of us are facing that test right now. And it's a very difficult test. So what if we fail? God's always going to keep testing us in that same area. He will keep testing you until you pass that test. So don't ever give up. Just because you can't pass it the first time. This isn't like elementary school or junior high or high school. One strike, you're out. This is God's test. With God's test, you strike out, you keep going. You keep trying. He keeps giving you the same test over and over and over until you pass it. There's no 3 strikes you're out business with God. So God watches how we use our money. He uses that money to test us on how trustworthy we are. There's a direct relationship between how we use our money and the quality of our spiritual life. How we manage our money determines how much God can trust us and how much He can trust us with spiritual blessings. If we can't manage our money, He can't trust us with those spiritual blessings. Part of the reason why some of our prayers go unanswered. He can't trust us. He's got to know that He can trust us. And Jesus said, "To whom much is given, much is required." So if we can't handle just a little bit of money, we're not going to be given much. But if we can handle millions and millions of dollars without messing up, then God's going to entrust a lot of responsibility on us. And He needs to know that He can trust us with all that responsibility. So remember, life is a test and a trust. And the more God gives you, the more responsibility He expects from you. Point to ponder this week is, life is a test and a trust. Always keep that in your mind. Everything that happens to you is a test, and it is God's way of finding out if He can trust you. And it's finding out how responsible you can be. How are you going to handle this situation? How are you going to handle that situation? Are you going to handle it the way God wants you to? Or are you going to handle it the way man wants you to? Handle it the way man expects, God can't trust you. Handle it the way God expects, it shows God you can be trusted and you are very responsible. And He will expect more from you, and He will give you more. Verse for the week is Luke 16:10. Luke 16:10. And our question is, what has happened to you recently that you now realize was a test from God? Give you an example, using my life as an example. I work a very, very minimal part-time job. 2 weeks ago, we got payroll went out on September the 1st, so the 2 weeks before that, I had no work whatsoever. I didn't have a check. What am I supposed to do? I get child support every week. It's not very much, not even enough to live off of. But you know, because I've proven to God that with just that little bit of money for my child support and the little bit of money I get doing a very minimal part-time job, which I love very much, and all the volunteer work that I do, God helps me to stretch that minimal money that I get. Past 2 weeks, since September 1st, since I didn't get a paycheck, since then it's been really tough making what little money I had stretch. But I've been able to do it, and I've been able to do it with God's help. And I see that as a test. And I'm going to have to walk this out. I'm walking it out, and I will continue to walk it out. But I see my situation, my money situation, as a test from God. The more I prove I can handle just this little bit, and I can make it stretch, then I know in the long run, God's going to start giving me more and more responsibility. Same with my ministry. Right now, it's just little bitty. And God is going to grow that. But right now, He knows little bitty is all that I can handle. I have my plate pretty full. And He doesn't want to give me any more than I can handle. Another reason for the test and the trust of life. Second question. What is the greatest thing God has entrusted you with? For me, it's my husband and my children. That's the greatest thing God has entrusted me with. So think about that. Ponder it. And if you want to shoot me an email and let me know the answer to those two questions, I would love to hear from you. Send me an email to thespeedoflifeministries@yahoo.com. I'd love to hear some of your responses to those two questions. You have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week for day 6.